You talking to me? Just, we're together, me and you. You're talking to me? You're talking to me? You're doubting me? That'll always be true. Wait, how do I just...
Conor doesn't need to fight. He has everything. I respect the fact that he's coming back to fight so much because it shows that he's a fighter in his heart. You know, me, I got to a certain level and I decided to walk away. You know, Conor, he's back. It shows that he's still that fighter despite having so much success. I'm rooting for him. Proud of Conor. I'm a massive fan. I think I will be for the rest of my life. You know, he has had a lot of struggles, ups and downs, just like I have, but he always gets back on his feet, which is a huge example to so many out there.
I'm just starting to realize the insurmountable challenge that Conor McGregor is about to take on. Like as things get closer, hype starts to die down, reality starts to set in, and we aren't there yet. Like the hype and the fireworks are still going to be going for another week or so. But as we get closer and that starts to die down, I will tell you, I find what Conor McGregor is attempting to do to be inspirational. And there are not very many, if any, famous elitist millionaires that I could be inspired by. But this task really is remarkable. You have the worst injury that I've ever seen in our sport. Now, I've seen 3 other athletes with the same injury, but I haven't seen a worse injury. You have an athlete who is returning to a weight class outside of his prime, which historically, including boxing, does not go well. And he's going into what I believe to be the hardest proposition in sport, which is a 5-round fist.
Like this Conor McGregor fight in July is going to be fucking bananas. It's going to be bananas. I mean, people are going to go crazy for the return of Conor McGregor because he's a giant personality.
But don't expect the same.
How could
you just can't?
He hasn't fought in 5 years,
That's
right?
exactly it.
It's been 5
and that's but that's the problem.
Maybe more
because they're going to all expect that.
I think it is a little over 5. It's almost 6, I think.
It might be 6 at the time of the fight.
It might be. I think it's 5. I think it's 5 right now.
Are we expecting to see a Conor that looked like Nate this last fight? Or are we expecting to see a better Conor than someone that looked like Nate? Because Nate did not look good.
No, but Mike Perry did. And Mike Perry looked like a fucking murderer.
You know what I mean? Like
Mike Perry is a murderer.
He's a murderer. And this is such a savage.
You take a look at that. You know, when you're taking an older fighter, which Nate is now, and you're
21. You're 5 fucking years ago, July. So it literally will be 6 years.
Yeah.
But when it'll be 5 years. It'll be 5 years.
When you're taking a younger fighter and putting them against the old dog, it normally doesn't end well for the old dog.
Well, the thing is about Max Holloway is like Max Holloway isn't
he's young.
that much younger. than Conor.
He's not.
But the thing is, Max has been in constant high-level competition the entire time. Won the BMF fight, beat Dustin, like constant high-level competition.
That's right.
It's a different thing.
And I honestly believe him at 155 is the best thing for him.
Absolutely.
Max,
But he's not 155 in this fight.
This is 170.
170.
But honestly, he
That's even better.
might be
No
better.
weight cutting at all.
Just no weight cut, just kind of walk around.
And also, knowing this is such a high-profile fight, Max is always in insane shape. But in particularly in this fight, he's going to be in fucking insane shape.
And his last fight, he took almost no damage. He got taken down, controlled, back taken. There was not a lot of damage.
No, just frustrating.
With the highly anticipated fight between Conor McGregor and Max Holloway drawing closer, the entire mixed martial arts world is busy trying to read the outcome of this headline-grabbing matchup. A wide mix of voices, from former champions and elite athletes to respected trainers and sharp analysts, have shared their takes. Even so, the opinions are clearly split. Some believe McGregor's power could lead to an early finish, while others think Holloway's non-stop pace and the raised questions around endurance may be too difficult to handle over the full fight. So, what does the broader expert conversation seem to point toward?
The fact that I think it's a great matchup, coming back to fight Max at 170.
I love the story,
Yeah, I love the story, and I think, Max is coming to his own. Obviously they fought a long time ago. Since then, they both become champions. You have Max, who's been in the paint, just fighting tough guys after another. Where Conor, he's kind of, he's been a businessman. He's been a father for the last couple of years, going through some soul searching, whatever he's doing. For him to come back and fight a tough Max Holloway, I'm going to go with Max with this one. I just think Max has just been fighting a lot of people lately. And obviously, he did get ragdolled by Charles Oliveira, but Charles Oliveira is a monster itself. I don't think Conor has the same skill set as Charles when it comes to the grappling department, but I think I'm favoring more Max in this matchup against Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you as well. I don't think, McGregor's not going to try and take Max down.
No.
Okay, so it's going to be a stand-up fight. Max has been in the firefight. When you're 3 rounds deep and you've been...
I do think he wins. I do think there's a lot of questions about how McGregor, his lifestyle outside the cage, and then being able to train, being able to juggle everything. And again, going back to what Marvin Hagler said back in the day, man, it's hard to get up and run whenever you're sleeping in silk pajamas, so how much is he really going out there and training? How much is he really just putting up for show? We won't know until the fight. And I like my chances with Holloway. Again, he's been way more active. He's been in the gym. And especially even in his last fight, he didn't take much damage. So for me, I'm thinking it's more of a Holloway win. And again, also he's one of my favorite fighters. So I'm definitely going
Holloway. Again, I think he knocks him out. I don't think anyone can really argue this. And McGregor's hungry like he used to be. Is he hungry enough to be getting in the gym and doing the things he has to do, doing that hour bag work, doing those hours of drilling? I don't know. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I believe Holloway's hungrier. I believe he's more locked in, and he's gonna win.
But it's not just Conor too. But look at the excitement at 155 pounds. It's back again. In particular with Gaethje winning the belt. There's so many contenders now. Who's gonna be the lucky winner to get the next title shot? If Conor wins, we all know it's gonna go to Conor. But if Conor doesn't win, it could be Max Holloway, who beat Justin. It could be Charles Oliveira, or you give it to who everybody, the majority of the people actually want, in Arman Tsarukyan. And that would be the most deserving.
My God, listen, at this point,
Justin can pick. Justin can pick.
Okay, if Max does get it done, what is the point of the rematch? That's not a big enough fight. It's not a big enough high for me to top what I just did at the White House. I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, really? So you're saying, hold on, come on. Let me pause you there. So, if Conor does lose, there could be a reason that Justin Gaethje says goodbye to the sport of MMA.
I mean, I'm not speaking for him. He's his own man, but if the fight's not...
Among the predictions, Brendan Schaub's take quickly caught fans' attention. Schaub suggested there was still too much uncertainty around Conor McGregor to make a truly safe bet on either fighter. While some experts seemed ready to lean one way or the other, Schaub said it was difficult to make a confident call, pointing to the many unknowns surrounding McGregor's form after such a long stretch away from the octagon.
Nolan's of the North said, did you see Patty's take on the Conor versus Holloway? He said people are overlooking the power Conor will have at 170, could knock Holloway out. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. He might be right. My whole thing with the whole Conor stuff, we don't know what the fuck we're going to get. You know, but what I do like is he's cutting down to 70 instead of coming up to 70, like back in the day when he fought Nate. So maybe it translates. Is his speed there? How's his condition? How's the leg? Does he throw a leg kick? Does he incorporate grappling? Because obviously Max suffered against Charles Oliveira. There's just a lot of X factors. We haven't seen him in 5 years. I hope you're right.
Still, not everyone is ready to count Conor McGregor out. Former two-division UFC champion Henry Cejudo has suggested that a lot of people may be moving too fast in dismissing McGregor's chances, especially because of the long break he has taken from competition. Cejudo does acknowledge that coming back to the cage after a 5-year layoff is no small task, but he also points out that McGregor's power is the kind of thing that can change a fight in an instant. In Cejudo's view, the real question is whether McGregor can stay patient, pick his moment, and then fire off that signature left hand at exactly the right time. That is exactly why this matchup has people talking so much. The debate is not just about who looks sharper on paper. It is about whether McGregor can still handle the kind of pressure that Holloway is known for bringing. A lot of online discussion has centered on that contrast, with some viewers focusing on McGregor's explosive moments, and others pointing to Holloway's steady output and relentless pace. And because the opinions stay so divided, every new prediction seems to add more weight to the conversation rather than settle it. That uncertainty is what keeps this fight feeling so wide open.
Man, Henry, talk about this headliner. Talk about the Mac Man is back, because I feel like a lot of people are kind of just counting him out. A lot of people are just going, yeah, he's gonna go out there and just get smoked. How are you feeling about that one?
He's gonna have to be patient with this fight. He's gonna have to be patient and really find that timing. With Max Holloway, bro, he's just gonna move, he's gonna punch. If Max plays the distance game a little bit and kicks Conor a little bit and gets him kind of to fatigue, he's in trouble, dude. So Conor really does have to be patient, maybe take a couple of shots to eventually counter him with that beautiful left. You know what he did to Eddie Alvarez, and just catch him, dude. I would say be patient and counter, but it's 5 years, Kamaru. It's not 2 years, it's not 3 years, it's not 4 years, it's 5 years, man. But yeah. if anybody can get it done with power, it is
Kamaru Usman, though, was not sold on the idea that McGregor should sit back and wait for openings. In Usman's view, giving Max Holloway any extra room would only let him settle in, control the pace, and start stacking up strikes as the fight goes on. Because of that, Usman believes McGregor would need to apply steady pressure and force Holloway backward. Instead of relying on counters, he suggested Conor should step in, close the distance, and break Holloway's rhythm with that explosive left hook he has built his reputation on. Usman also pointed to a possible edge for McGregor, even with the long layoff hanging over the matchup. After watching some of McGregor's training clips, Usman said he still sees the same balance, quickness, and sharp precision that once made Conor such a dangerous striker at the top level. Even so, Usman was careful to note that strong work in training does not always translate the same way once the cage door closes. The bigger question, he said, is whether McGregor can absorb the pressure once the fight actually begins. Chael Sonnen, meanwhile, shifted the conversation beyond the matchup itself and raised questions about what a win would really do for McGregor's next move. Sonnen pointed out that if McGregor were to beat Holloway at 170 pounds, the result would still leave a strange picture. In his view, it would not automatically open a clean title path in either division. He argued that beating a lightweight at welterweight should not be enough to earn McGregor a spot in the rankings at 155 or 170, which would leave him without a clear route into championship contention.
Sonnen said the most puzzling part was McGregor's motivation for taking this fight in the first place.
In his view, there is not much typical upside on the line for Conor. A win would not automatically raise his standing, lock in a title opportunity, settle an old score, or even avenge a prior loss. And Sonnen also did not think money was the main reason behind it. With the usual incentives not really adding up, Sonnen suggested that McGregor's motivation may simply be the challenge itself. Those same questions about why McGregor is coming back were echoed by Robert Whittaker, who admitted he still has a hard time understanding the decision. Whittaker pointed out that Conor already has many of the things most fighters spend years chasing, including financial security, business success, and a family, which makes the comeback feel difficult to explain from the outside. Whittaker also stressed how active Holloway has stayed during McGregor's long absence. While McGregor has been away, Max has kept taking on some of the sport's toughest names. Because of that, Whittaker believes stepping back into the octagon against someone as battle-tested as Holloway is a massive task, no matter how dangerous McGregor can still be. Even with that respect for McGregor's striking, Whittaker ultimately leaned toward Holloway. He expects a stand-up battle, where Holloway's recent activity could end up being the difference.
Max has spent years going through hard fights against elite opposition, and he has repeatedly shown that he can keep his pace deep into demanding contests.
And that is what makes this whole discussion so interesting. It is not just about a prediction anymore. It is about how people are weighing experience, timing, and whether McGregor can really reset after being away for so long. Online reactions keep circling back to the same point, which is that Holloway's consistency is hard to ignore, especially when fans compare it to McGregor's long stretch away from competition. At the same time, the debate around McGregor is not going away, because there is still a lot of curiosity about whether that old finishing threat can show up again under real pressure. Some commentators see the comeback as a chance for him to shock people, while others think the pace and rhythm of a fighter like Holloway could make that extremely difficult. So even as the opinions keep shifting, the bigger story remains the same. People are watching closely to see whether this matchup becomes a statement performance or just another reminder of how steep the challenge really is. McGregor, by comparison, has not had that same level of high-stakes competition for years. Whittaker suggested that the later rounds require a certain comfort and sharpness that usually comes from staying active, and that could give Holloway a real edge if this turns into a long, grinding battle. He also pointed out that finding a clean finish against Max has never been an easy task. Jamahal Hill came to a similar conclusion and also leaned slightly toward Holloway.
While he said McGregor's past success at 170 pounds might offer a small advantage, Hill believes Holloway's recent activity ultimately outweighs that factor.
In his view, Max's steady run against elite opposition gives him the stronger case going into this highly anticipated matchup. Curtis Blaydes also sides with Holloway, but for a different reason. Instead of focusing only on skill or experience, he raised questions about whether McGregor still has the same hunger that powered his rise. Blaydes seems to think Holloway is the more motivated fighter, and he expects Max's approach in training to help carry him toward a knockout win. Adrian Yanez is leaning Holloway as well, pointing to many of the same concerns around McGregor's return. He questioned whether McGregor can still balance life outside the octagon with the demands of an elite camp, and he believes only Fight Night will really answer that. When you add Holloway's consistent activity, recent performances, and the relatively low damage he took in his last outing, Yanez feels Max enters with too many advantages to overlook. Those opinions kept piling up, and Youssef Zalal also leaned toward Holloway. He acknowledged that McGregor's pinpoint accuracy and dangerous counter-striking still make him a constant knockout threat, but Zalal believes Holloway is the safer pick. In the end, he expects Max's consistency and overall form to outweigh Conor's explosive power. If you're following this matchup and how those predictions keep shifting, like, subscribe, share, comment, and see you on the next one.